Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Banging our heads against the wall because we've been waiting for New Sports. Victor Allen's unique fan-based view of sports is here every week, a recurring segment of the Morning Coffee with Mario show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the man that the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate. Rub his head, make a wish. Here's Vic. Yeah! Sports! Jock Stephs. Yeah! It's a long-ass applause. I know. You're happy.
Oh, we about to do sports? My bad, man, because I was sitting up here getting a cup of my Javi, not Java.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, man. You know what? Look,
like that.
I'm going to give a shout out first because I won't be able to cover it. I said last week, LA's in trouble with the playoffs and hockey because we'd had both our teams going down 0-2 at the time. And then, of course, I said Anaheim was going to kick it in and they can recover. Well, they have to a certain degree and have now won the next 3 games. To win the next one, they go into the next round. Kings. Sorry, y'all. I'm just sorry. Got busted out, gone, and they were one of the favorites to actually go to the Stanley Cup. So I'm going to just give my little love shout out to those who actually thought they were kings and they're not. Now, let's just say this, dude. Okay. Has the game been changed, man? Because Steph Curry will not be the same. He will not be the Steph Curry in the regular season.
I don't know how you guys can say that. How can, based on what?
Okay. One is the injury that he was recovering from, right?
Which was a minor ankle sprain, which he should be able to recover from.
That's right. Easily. But you need time, don't you?
Well, you don't need weeks, though.
No, you don't. What you do need is enough time so that way, well, I'll say this. He's probably going to be a little bit more timid about approaching. He won't be as aggressive.
Depends on the nature of the injury. All the indications I see that first of all, the ankle injury was minor.
Right.
In the game that was just played, he showed, in terms of looking at his ankle,
right,
it looked perfect. What he was doing was missing shots. That's not a matter of
timing.
His ankle. Yeah,
it's timing.
Now
the
thing. Issue with his knee, which so far has been called a sprain,
right? A freak.
You won't really know. The MRI is being probably done as we speak.
Right.
So the MRI results will be available.
Right.
And so then you'll know. You'll actually have something more specific.
Right.
To use as an indicator of injury. But let's assume, and I'm going to bet you based on what I saw. I'm going to bet you that the MRI is okay. So, therefore, I will bet you that it will come down again to kind of what you started out with saying. How much rest is needed? Because you're not going to have a set...
Not at all.
...opinion on that. You're going to have some varying opinion.
Right.
Including his own opinion.
Right.
And when will he be ready to go full speed? Because the issue he's probably concerned about is being rusty.
Okay.
Because that was the issue with the ankle. It wasn't so much they knew the ankle was going to be better.
I see what I was getting. My whole thing is about timing, and you know it. And being in sports, you take off a week. Your timing is affected.
That he's got so much. In other words, I am so unconcerned with anyone other than San Antonio.
Right.
That I don't care. They are lucky that they have the luxury to rest him a lot before he's really needed.
Let me say this.
They have a good chance.
Let me say this. I'm gonna go across a couple of names and teams because what I actually witnessed with Houston without Steph Curry was a blowout, but probably more attributable to the dysfunctionality of Houston. Not because they're really dysfunctional. They just don't have synergy, and they don't have what they call the coming together of this is what we're going to do the best that we can with what we have. We have a team here that's floundering. But before I do that, how you like that picture, man? Who's in more pain? Ariza? Who's in more pain? Who's gonna get the bulk of the pain on that shot, man? You think about it. Somebody's on the back of your neck. Somebody's got their foot in your jaw.
I just think it's the whole idea to have somebody's ass on your head.
That's it. Now you're there.
Some things hurt the spirit.
Right.
Ass on the head.
Yeah.
See, if you didn't ask for it to be there.
I'm just saying.
Might hurt the spirit.
I just wanted to let you know that I said be afraid for Steph Warriors, and I said, well, yeah, be afraid. Why? And we get back to the same thing. I'm gonna name some teams couple of teams, and you take off their best player, and can they play like Golden State? Let's take off. Just go to anyone. Let's say LeBron James to Cleveland. Are there anywhere performing the same way as what the Warriors did without Steph? Okay, all right. Let me.
Not at all. That's been their problem. They need him to be a superstar for every game.
Kawhi Leonard. Take them off.
Yeah,
the
they can because it's a different discipline.
All right, different. You think they can rise up to that level because he is such a force? He's the MVP of the team.
The point is, it's the question was not whether or not they're at a loss by losing those people, because when you're a superstar on a team, losing you is obviously going to be a loss. It's not going to be no loss. But on the other hand, there are those teams that seem to be able to like take a gap and pull that zipper together and be strong, and that's San Antonio.
Well, see,
the disciplined teams tend to be able to do that.
But we're not using that caveat. We're using what they have right now.
Yeah,
and I'm going. Think of that's
they would still beat everybody other than San Antonio without Kawhi Leonard would be right where they are.
Okay. That's a good vote of confidence.
Okay, they would be,
because you got Popovich.
Yeah, because they might be a little off in numbers. They might not have exact same numbers.
Right.
But they would still be in the playoffs, probably the same seed.
Right.
Okay. That's all I can say. They may be more struggling to maintain it.
Right.
But they would be at the same position.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go. Here's another example. You take off Mark Gasol off of Memphis Grizzlies. We already know what that means. And then you have to take off the
Conley
point guard.
too.
Conley. So just take one.
Well, I think it's one of the most underrated. Either one.
Can they do it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
They barely were doing it with them. No.
Right. All right.
No. And Gasol did he look great at the game? He looked like
got his swag.
Yeah, he looked like he's in great shape. You know,
pull up his collar.
It's amazing the way both of those brothers, but give it up.
All right. Now let me just go. Now let me just roll to the next one. Just to put in perspective. Take Chris Paul off the Clippers. Are they anywhere near the same and can compete? Chris Paul now. They call him the most complete point guard. He may not be better than Stephen Curry, but complete, raising the level of the team. Take him off. Can they perform at that level, high level?
No, but let's put it like this. Doc Rivers' system, to me, based on Doc, he does a better job.
Right.
So I would hate to have you be challenged with that.
Right.
But I would be willing to say that Doc Rivers could adjust that team better than most. Should they lose Chris Paul?
During the playoffs now.
I'm just saying.
During the playoffs.
Assuming, I have to think who could do a better job, and almost no one.
No.
So in other words,
no.
But we said you can't replace any of them.
Right.
So the team, how the team would perform.
Right.
I would be willing to say that the team would perform probably near the same because they're losing, right? So in other words, what I'm saying is, if they didn't have Chris Paul, they'd be right where they are now, wondering about how they're going to get to the next spot.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying. They would still be in that same kind of range, right? Which is not a winning. It's not winning.
see. At the end of the day, when they sit back and say, "Look, you're in Vegas now. You got your money. Put it on the table. You could give me all the ifs and ands, but are you betting on this team?" And at the end of the day, you go, "There's only one team I could look at, and that's the Warriors, because they're so complete. They're just their transformation from bench to starters. They all are on the same page. They're all role players, and they play with speed." Now, let me just go over here because I got to give some what I call cold country love to the Pistons. And I always say this: sometimes we got love. No, you step on that picture, Mario. We got love. Now take your sweep like a Piston. So I'm just saying. So, what I mean by that, we got love. Guess what they're doing? Love. Kevin is going down low, banging, saying, "You know what? The 3-point shots are cool, but I'm taking you guys low," and being effective. And let me say something else about it. Like I said, when I look at my boy here, just going, "Sit your ass down. Shh, be quiet. We're coming." Synergy is in the mix because they got a down low presence, and when chest bumping between Irving and LeBron, well, can you see them raising their level? are they still second fiddle to Curry's Warriors?
Yeah, they're still the third best team in the league.
Wow. I tried to give them some love. I tried to.
I mean, it's a debate,
Right.
among some, but I'm called them the third best. You know, Golden State, San Antonio, you could debate that because I actually feel you sort of can debate that one.
Right.
That has to be proven yet.
Yeah.
Certainly not a given for
Nope.
Golden State against San Antonio.
Right.
Now, after the two of them, you have who? Cleveland. And it ain't that Cleveland's right on their tail either. It's like there's a gap, right?
Right.
Then Cleveland.
Right.
So they're still the third. It's amazing, Vic.
Right.
That's what it seems to be, that no matter what they do, they're still sort of stuck in these niches. Oklahoma
Right.
actually having to have a fight with Dallas.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so now.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm
Right.
just saying.
So, was it? See, my whole thing is that after seeing that game and you go into that city, even though Detroit did a great job, I got to give them props.
You got to give it to them
because it's a 1 and an 8. So I didn't expect. So the 8 did way more performing, but at the
Yeah.
expense of them struggling a little bit with sweeping them. You've ever heard of that? We struggled to sweep them. Is that really expecting more from them? Because
It
sweep is
says
a sweep.
something about right now what appears to be. It used to be we were talking about the wonderful parity.
Right.
Interesting how a few games make you change your conversation.
Right.
Because it is certainly a higher level of parity. At least there used to be.
Right.
But now you are wondering,
Right.
based on the fact that the outcomes seem to be the same.
Absolutely.
So
Okay.
I don't know. I give it to Detroit playing in a depressed economy.
Right.
And football vacuum and everything else.
Right.
They got to be clinging to the Pistons
Right.
for life. They got to in Detroit.
Look, I
I don't know what the Red Wings are doing, but I'm just saying they got to be clean.
I know I've come a long way when I find myself cheering for teams that used to be the nemesis for the Lakers, but we'll talk about that
Me
another
too.
time. I'm going to this too. I want to give shouts out to also Miko. I know you are at the doctor's office. Don't play doctor. Just be the patient. Don't debate. Don't argue.
Just relax that
Just
muscle.
relax.
Relax
That's all you
that
gotta do.
muscle.
Just relax, okay? So here it is. Let's roll up to the next screen. This is the one that's, to me, this is Vince Carter. And he ponders depleted Grizzlies sweep by Spurs. Was there anything not to expect that they were going to get swept or not? Is there anything here that says why you shouldn't get swept?
To me, the Grizzlies perform. If that was my team, I'd be happy with what they did
all day,
considering what they had to work with.
Right.
And this is what you and I talk about over and over again about pride. Some players just being that way. We've been about folks who are more talented,
right?
Not as committed, right?
Right.
More talented, not as committed.
True.
And so I give it up for the Grizzlies. I mean, wow, just bad luck again with just bad luck.
Yeah, right. It is. And here's the thing: they've already discussed Vince Carter going, and you already hear. And I'm gonna say, look, I'm gonna leave Charles Barkley alone because what he wants Vince to do is leave while he is actually performing above scale. He doesn't want him to go out a certain way, and he's going, Vince, get out now.
Yeah, but ain't that Vince's call?
Well, we know that, and I'm saying what I like what Vince is doing.
We would have said that for Charles.
Stay in the role you're doing.
Hey, Charles, we would just say it a different way. We want you to retire 30 pounds earlier. How's that?
Right. No, wait a minute.
How's that? How's that? Because that was your issue.
But remember, the part I like about what I like about people like Charles is that they represent exactly the commitment to how they believe things at the time that they're in it. The thinking. Wait a minute. The thinking of the time was Charles was rebellious, right? On the floor and would challenge and deal and man up, the kind of player you want. Well, now he's in the broadcast seat. Doesn't he sound like your uncle? Doesn't he sound like your grandfather? Doesn't he sound like your father who's going,
I enjoy Charles.
All right, come on.
There are definitely times he says some stupid shit. I'm sorry.
Is it entertaining?
Yeah, but it's still stupid. So, and everybody knows it. So you can be kind about it.
Right.
He knows he says stupid shit.
Yeah.
He knows it. That's part of his charm. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Stupid. I say stupid shit. We all. It's part of. Why are you guys fascinated with stupid shit?
Yeah. Look, man. All I'm saying. All right, let's go. All right, so we got that. Let me roll on to the subject that's already hit, because we knew this was coming, and the person who had the record for futility, unfortunately, has moved on because they have moved on from Byron Scott, and that's the Lakers. So they waved goodbye. And basically, for the person who's had the worst franchise record as it relates to coaching in the history of the Lakers organization, and as a coach currently in the system, has the losingest record for his term because he was bouncing around in organizations, Cleveland, before LeBron and all that happened. He was bouncing around in places where he inherited what they would call, we need somebody in here. And now his record, is it as important that he made those decisions to say, I'm going to go with the teams that really don't have it, we're starting all over? Was that more important for him because he had to say, look, I'm taking on the challenge? But now is his legacy affected? Because most people forget that he took the New Jersey Nets to the NBA title.
Well, his legacy is affected.
Yeah. Oh.
But I don't think so much. I think, fortunately for Byron, that most people are going to blame the Lakers' leadership.
The invisible one.
The organizational leader. They're going to blame
the invisible
Jim.
One. Yeah. Who doesn't
Jeannie,
he doesn't do social media.
Mitch.
Right.
I think they may be aware. I'm not sure to what extent.
Right.
But I think that as it goes down in time, they're going to blame the franchise way more because it won't be seen that Byron Scott was just the worst coach. He was in a string of folks who were unsuccessful to coach this team in a successful way based on the management that they had leading the team. Right. And I think that people are going to remember it like that. They're going to blame Jeannie and Jim and Mitch.
Right.
That's what they're going to blame. And so I don't think they're going to blame Byron. They're going to say, a lot of folks are going to say, wow, given what you were given, forced to deal with Kobe in his final year. Right. Give me a break.
Right. He wasn't.
You were handicapped from. Come on. You know what?
Was he rewarded by getting the job?
No. And this is where it sits today, which to me is the point. I guess maybe you were leading. Would you take? It's the worst job in the NBA almost. No. Let's talk about the worst jobs in the NBA. Could it New York Knicks be one? I don't know. See, what happens is what makes it worse. My thing is when you have to perform under a certain kind of a management that's going to be directly affecting, like the Knicks. To think that you don't have specific coaching stuff, whether or not it's implied or whatever, there's a pressure to do things a certain way, right? Right, a certain way. And the Lakers are a terrible organization right now, and so who among these coaches you list? Luke Walton, he'd be a jerk to go there. All right. I'd rather he should stay where he is. Kevin Ollie, Jay Wright.
Well, wait a minute. Let me say this. This is why I was getting. My whole point was to get to this and say, is Philadelphia a better place compared to the Lakers? Now, see, you have to understand. I
asked you which were the worst franchises.
I'm saying this. Yeah. If you had to start at the bottom, which organization would you rather start with? Philly or LA?
LA's better weather, bigger market. I'd rather start if they're both bad. Right. I'd rather start with all the other variables that equal Los Angeles. Right. First of all, no offense, Philly, no one's moving this from our direction to you. Okay? Nobody. Okay? Unless they're forced to. And I know Philly because I got tons of family in Philly. Okay? But no one's going there for that horrible weather. Right. Horrible summers. Right. Terrible winters. You can keep, who wants to live in that part of the country? You only do so when you don't know any better. Like you grew up there, okay? Right. Once you leave, all my family that comes from Philly out here wants to be out here.
Now, the difference between the players today is, like the New York Knicks and Walt Frazier back in the day, the economy of the Knicks was a place where people wanted to be, Earl the Pearl Monroe and all of them. The economy is now playing a role in these young players to go where they get the best deal, not necessarily say, hey, appreciate that you're at this organization. They're making more strategic moves of investment and not rushing to an organization because it's old legacy. They're going who's performing and dealing with it now. So when you get these coaches, they're going to the best place where they have the best organization and of players, and that they don't have to look out 5 years from now. So I'm going to say that will Luke Walton be the lead cat, because we don't know what he's going to be supported by.
I think the Lakers want him, but they're not going to get it.
Now here's the other part, because let me tell you what they did with Luke. You know this. We all said this. Didn't he spend a lot of time in LA on the team?
That's why they want him. They know him. They want him.
Right.
He may be the best candidate.
Right. And he's Jerry West is up in Golden State, who Lakers treat Jerry West and say, look, we got you where you want to go, what you want to do. It's this triangle. What happened in New York, to me, with the Knicks, is a perfect example of, and I can imagine the New York City going, so we got former Lakers running the New York Knicks right now. We got Fisher, who's gone, and of course you got Jackson.
But Jackson also was a Knick before he was a Laker.
And Rambus. So the whole transference of a Laker
serves you well, New Yorkers.
So wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, man. See,
I love to get New Yorkers'
Is that the joke?
ass.
Is that the joke? And I'm saying
we don't even like your pizza.
Wait, come on, man. You got fans out there.
New York, we're being the assholes of our for.
Let me say this, just so you know how
it is.
I'm just saying this. If you had to start with, and everybody, it's no way in this day you cannot start off without brand. Is the best brand to go with somebody like a Luke Walton, who has the philosophy of the Warriors and proved that he can transfer the same thing during his little small assistant tenure. Would he be a wiser choice?
He proved that. You say he proved.
He proved it.
I don't know that he took over and had a successful period of taking over.
Right.
I don't know if that's the same as proving.
I tell you what, you want Maurice Cheeks?
No, I'm looking at your list of potentials. Everybody can see this.
Right.
And wow.
I'm saying.
I'm just saying I would not get a college coach for the Lakers. Just wouldn't.
So we're talking about Jay Wright, Kevin Ollie, Tom Izzo, John Calipari, what about Jeff Van Gundy? New York State
I like him, and I like him, and I actually like David Blatt. I just don't think that they mix with the Lakers culture.
Right.
I love Jeff Van Gundy.
Would you prefer to have a coach?
He doesn't mix with the Laker culture.
Do you prefer to have a coach that can relate with the players like the coach up in Boston and how they hustle and play for them?
But okay, my issue is these folks will fight with the Laker management. Maybe, Vic, that's what you need.
Right.
Maybe you need a coach who's going to storm into Genie's office and say, what the okay.
I don't know if that's
maybe that's what you need.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. But either you have here college coaches who are they're good guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're wonderful candidates, but this is the Lakers, dude.
Yeah.
You cannot have a college coach, dude.
Okay. All right.
You just can't. I wish you got balls enough to do that.
So here's your whole thing. You got the list of candidates right now. Thibodeau is over in Minnesota.
They messed up.
Wait. So
they messed up.
So here's my thing. With what's left right now,
you're messed up.
Okay, but
I don't know, Vic. I'm sitting there going like, wow.
Let me say this.
Kevin McHale is still around.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be honest right now. I'm gonna say this, and this is your consideration. Right now, if you had to say what's a greater risk value, if you had to start and look at it and say, is it better to retain Byron Scott or go with Luke Walton?
Retain Byron Scott.
Okay. See, that's why.
I thought they could have given him a chance to have a season without Kobe, and with some. Even though, see, Vic, it's 2 years of shit still. No matter what you do, at least 2 years. You think they can adjust the Laker culture in a year?
Right.
Only with a really strong mental presence who will whip everybody's ass. So you would have to go through a time of dissension. I don't know.
Right. And I'm gonna say this and let my people know what's happening here real quick before I move on to a quick Q&A. My apologies for any of you guys who are watching. I can't see my chat on live stream. It's not coming up, so I won't be able to see the scores for the hot picks. My Meerkat has gone down 2 or 3 times, and my Periscope just sat back and just faded to black. So check me out on my Facebook. I will go there once we get to hot picks so I can look at scores if you're participating in the hot picks. And if that stream goes down, just keep your fingers crossed because it'll just be Mario and myself because I'm scrambling while we're doing this. So I'm going to go over to the next one. All right. Everybody knows by now that the man, Johnny Manziel, has been indicted on misdemeanor charges or assault charges against his former girlfriend, Colleen Crowley. Quick, what is 2 things in this picture that Johnny doesn't have anymore?
That B cup.
see, this is what I'm saying, man.
How come I'm such a man?
You're right, man.
Why do I always look at the rack on the weather women?
Dude.
Because I'm a man.
Dude. It's easy.
Why are we like this, Vic? First thing you do is show me this woman. And she's obviously not a natural blonde, right? She's not a natural. When you have the dark, even I can see the dark.
Why does that have anything to do with the question?
Because I'm just saying, Johnny, he's...
Two things he doesn't have anymore in this picture. What is it? A football team and a woman.
Freedom.
A football team and a woman, dude.
Yeah. What team is he on?
He's not on the team. That's why I said, what is the team?
They didn't actually cut him already, did they?
Gone.
Did they cut him? Actually, I didn't remember hearing a cut.
Gone.
I just remember them saying they didn't know.
Gone.
Cut.
Gone.
Okay. Because somebody will pick him up, cut.
Really?
Not now. But I mean, a minute ago, he could at least been a backup at Dallas.
Day before yesterday.
Because you know who wants him, who like Jerry Jones likes him.
He and you see that last test he did with the offensive lineman and what that meant. It didn't really work. Oh, excuse me, the defense.
You know, Johnny.
Come on now.
This is why alcohol's a bad drug.
It is. It is.
Alcohol's a bad drug. Smoke weed.
And look. All I'm saying is, at this point, it looks like it's going downhill. Downhill. And if you see,
it is going downhill. It's already gone.
Let me say this: he was okay once the legality wasn't doing its process. Once it became indicted, and it's assault, and it's a woman, and it's your ex-girlfriend. Notice ex now. The game has changed.
You better assume why he got some money.
So who's going to be the one going like, let's go pick up this person who assaulted someone?
You know, assault.
Don't,
the NFL, they assault.
Careful. Be careful now. You got women watching.
They got assault. Okay. They charged Brittany Griner with assault.
You do. Come on, man. Come on.
Saying.
Don't go there.
I'm not defending assault. I'm just saying.
Cut the commercial.
I'm just being a typical sports guy for a moment. They all,
right.
They're not all criminals, but a bunch are.
Yeah.
So hence, what can we say? They're idiots, some of them. Right. And Johnny is proven to be an idiot. I don't want to defend him. I just want to get out the way, like everybody else.
I'm
get out the way. Go like this.
Look, the man has chosen what is best for him, but I have to admit, I don't look for it to be an indictment on what he wants to be. I just look that he probably has a deeper seated issue. And hopefully we wish the best
for him. It's called alcoholism.
Yes, okay, I'm out. New Sports done. I won't let you get on it.
It's called alcohol.
Well, we know that the playtime is over. It's not college anymore, man.
Everybody.
You got me.
That's right. New Sports. Be like Johnny. Put him with Latrell Sprewell. Some of the other famous underachievers. Could this be one of the more famous? There's been a few that who have been famously underachieved. But we'll see. Victor Allen, New Sports. Rub his head, make a wish. Yeah.